Welcome, children, to our history class. Children, history is a subject which tells us more about our past. We come to know a large amount of informations. We get a lot of knowledge about our past through this subject. So, do you know how do we get to know about our past? Because we don't, our forefathers are already gone, and it is very difficult to get what had happened in our previous ages. So children, the things we require or the things we use to increase our knowledge about our past or whatever happened and why is this a particular thing is existing in this world, then we study those things related to that knowledge, and we when get that knowledge, that becomes the source of our informations. And how we are going to learn about the sources of history. Let's read what is written over here. Suppose on a visit to the Taj Mahal you were taken aback by its beauty and grandeur. So think that you have gone to Agra to visit the Taj Mahal, and you are very affected by the beauty and grandeur of that monument. Now you want to know more about it. So you don't know who made it or when was it made, why was it made. So you have all the questions in yourself, and you would surely love to know and quench your thirst of getting the answers to all the questions that you have in your mind. Then what do? You either take information from the guide appointed there, or turn over the pages of a history book, or surf the internet. Now you use all kind of techniques to increase your knowledge about that place, about the particular place, and you want to know more about it through the guide who was appointed there to guide you down the place, or from the history book, or you can surf the internet to get more knowledge about it. Here, the guide, the book, and the internet become your sources of information for the study of the Taj Mahal. So, when you wanted to know the question, you want to quench the thirst for the query that you had about Taj Mahal, you search for the guide, the book, and the internet, and this guide, book, and internet become the sources of information. Similarly, to know about our entire past, historians take help of a number of sources. So, in the same way, when we want to know more about our past, the historians who are born to know all these things, they really take up this job of finding out more things. So, whatever requirements they have, or whatever mediums they use to increase their knowledge of their questions, those are called the sources of history. These sources of history are broadly divided into two types, the archaeological and the literary. So, the sources that historians get are of two types, that is, first the archaeological and then the literary. So, what are the archaeological sources? Archaeological sources, in this we study about the human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites, analysis of artifacts, and other physical remains. So, archaeological sources of human history or prehistory gives us the facts of the excavation sites. They tell us where this was excavated, or where the ground was excavated, and what did we get from that place. So whatever physical remains that we get from that those excavations, we consider it as the source. These remains may be in the form of buildings. So when we dig a place, then obviously whatever we get, it can be a building, that is the architectural remains of the buildings that were made in that period, or objects like pottery, ornaments, seals, tablets, etc. Or we can even get some utensils or ornaments, or some seals or tablets regarding those regarding the information we required of that age. The scholars who study these remains are called archaeologists. So those people who find out all these things through excavations, they are called the archaeologists. The archaeological sources are the most direct evidence for the study of history and prehistory. So, these archaeological sources give us a lot of evidence. They prove that yes, something or the other existed in that place. These are the original sources which cannot be tampered by human beings. So, these are the basic sources or the original sources which cannot be tampered or which cannot be destroyed by anyone, neither by the human beings nor animals nor anyone. So, archaeology is the study of human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. So, these archaeological surveys give us the study of the human history and their prehistory also. These sources include, now in the archaeological sources we include some of the things, that is the inscriptions. Inscriptions are generally engraved in stone and metal. So in the previous years what people used to do, they used to use their own words or letters to tell about their places, how it looked like, or what kind of people do they are living there, and what are the things that we use. So they inscribe it, or they this engrave it in the stones and metals. Thus, they serve as the most original and reliable sources of information, as it is not possible to alter the contents once engraved in the stone or metal. So, since engraving on stone and metals cannot be tampered or cannot be destroyed or cannot be spoilt out, they cannot be changed during the these sources. So, what happens? These sources are more reliable and they are the most original sources of information of our historic things. The study of an inscription also enables us to determine the method of writing prevalent in the period. So, these studies of inscriptions on metals and stones, they give us a lot of information that what kind of knowledge or what kind of writings they used to have in the period. The nature of this script helps us to decide the age of the inscription. So you can see here, children, you have the Ashokan pillar inscription in Brahmi script at Lumbini. So this through these inscriptions we can come to know that what is the nature of this script, what kind of language did they use to write during their age. On the basis of their contents, inscriptions have been classified as administrative, religious, commercial, literary, donative, and commemorative. The inscriptions of Ashoka were mainly administrative and religious, as they speak of his victories in the battles and his conversion to Buddhism. So, what kind of knowledge do we get from the inscriptions of Ashoka? So when Ashoka inscribed his victories on a metal or stone, he inscribed it, so that is why we are able to know that what Ashoka did during his lifetime, what kind of wars did he wage, and what is the actual lifestyle of during his period. So we came to know how he converted to Buddhism also. So these are the facts that we get through the inscriptions of the people of that age. Now next source of archaeological source is the coins. So people gradually developed coins to develop their trade relations. The study or collection of coins is called numismatics. So when you collect a lot of coins of different ages, that is called numismatics. Coins serve as an important and reliable source for reconstructing our past. So coins, the development time passed by, these coins gradually developed from something to the other. So coins generally give us information about the various kings that would have ruled in a particular territory, their names and chronology, their period of reign, the extent of their empires, and their particular field of interest. So children, through the coins we generally get the information about the different kind of rulers who ruled during the particular territory. We come to know about their names and during their rule whatever happened. They also furnish information about the prevalent languages, religions, trade and commerce, and the state of prosperity of a kingdom or state. For example, the excavation of gold and silver coins from a territory indicates its commercial prosperity. So these coins tell us that how what kind of a commercial or industrialized or a developed territory it was. So, with the invention of the gold and silver coins, we come to know that they were more prosper. They were prospering the, to a higher extent in that region. They also furnish information about the prevalent languages, religions, trade and commerce, and the state of prosperity of a kingdom or state. For example, the excavation of gold and silver coins from a territory indicates its commercial prosperity. So, the invention or excavation or the findings of gold and silver coins, they really give us a that help us to know that there was a commercial prosperity in that territory. The coins of Samudragupta depict his love for the Veena. So, the coins found during the Samudraguptas depict that he loved to play the Veena. So, children, I think we should stop here for today, and I hope you have learnt a lot about the sources of history and how the historians have been able to tell us all about our past. So, it is very important to know where we get the informations from. So, children, in the next chapter, we'll continue with the topic monuments. It is another kind of archaeological source. So, till then, we meet. It's uh, good day. Happy learning.